Good morning, children. Now, today we are going to deliver our lecture number 3 on the electric field. Earlier, we have discussed that the electric field on the axial line of an electric dipole. Now, today we are just beginning our discussion from the electric field on equatorial line of an electric dipole. So, electric field at any point due to an electric dipole. Firstly, we will discuss these 2 points. Firstly, now let us discuss the electric field on the equatorial line due to a dipole. Now, this is the dipole, minus q charge and plus q charge, and on the equatorial line, that is the perpendicular drawn from the midpoint. And suppose this is the point P at which the electric field due to the dipole is required. So, if you see the direction of the electric field, then plus q0, so put the test charge here, this is minus q, this plus q0 will be attracted, that means the E1 electric field is in this direction, and because of the repulsive force, E2 will be in this direction. But E1 is also inclined at certain angle theta and E2 is also inclined at angle theta. So, E1 and E2 both are resolved into 2 components. First, here it is the E1 sin theta, here it is E1 cos theta, and similarly E2 will also be resolved, that is the E2 sin theta and E2 cos theta. Again, in the separate figure, we are just going to see that how it can be resolved. That is this is the E1, this is the angle theta. In front of the theta, we are having the vertical component. That is the E1 sin theta, E2 sin theta, and here it is the E1 cos theta and E2 cos theta. So this, now let us, electric field due to the minus q, we are getting E1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into q upon r square minus l square. And similarly, E2 is equal to, the E2 is the electric field due to the plus q. This distance will be the same from this charge and this distance is also the same. So, E2 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into q upon r square minus l square. The distance from here to here. We will see that the magnitude of E1 is exactly equal to the magnitude of E2. And E1 sin theta is equal to E2 sin theta, because the value of the E1 and E2 are equal and opposite in direction. So, this E1 sin theta component will neutralize the E2 sin theta component. So, only the net electric field due to the dipole will be, both are in the same direction, that is the E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. So, the net electric field is equal to E1 cos theta plus E2 cos theta. Again, E1 and E2 both are equal. So, in place of E2 we can substitute the E1 and we can have the expression E is equal to 2 E1 into cos theta. Now, 2, the value of the E1 substitute 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into q upon under root r square minus l square into, now cos theta is equal to base upon hypotenuse, that is, this is the angle theta, so this is the base and this is the hypotenuse. The base is L upon hypotenuse is under root r square plus minus l square, under root r square minus l square. So it is now this q into 2L, this is equal to the electric dipole moment P, and we'll get the expression E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. In place of q into 2L, we are writing P and r square minus l square to the power 1 and r square minus l square to the power 1 by 2. So, it will become 1 plus 1 by 2, it is becoming 3 by 2. So, the expression for the electric field is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into P upon R square minus L square to the power 3 by 2. So this is the formula for the electric field due to the dipole on the equatorial line. But if this R this is the R from this center point, if R is very greater than the length of the dipole L, then L square can be neglected and E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into P upon R cube. So this is the, finally we have these two formulae. One is when the R is not very greater than L, then this formula is applicable, and when R is very greater than L, in that case the L square can be neglected and we are having this formula for the electric field due to the dipole on equatorial line. Now the second topic we are just going to discuss, that electric field at any point due to an electric dipole. Suppose this is the minus q and plus q, this is the dipole, and we can assume the dipole moment, the direction of the dipole moment is always from minus q to plus q. This is the, suppose if AB is the dipole which is having the two equal and opposite charges minus q and plus q, then the electric dipole moment's direction is from minus q to plus q. It is in this direction. Now this P can be resolved into two components. First is the P cos theta component along OP and P sin theta along perpendicular to OP. One dipole, we can assume that A1 and B1 having dipole moment P cos theta, and we can assume that another electric dipole A2 B2 dipole moment is P sin theta. Now electric field due to the dipole A1 B1 from this dipole, then E1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into 2P cos theta upon R cube along PK. This is the axial line, and electric field due to the dipole A2 B2, then E2 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 and dipole moment is P sin theta upon R cube. It is along PL perpendicular, that means it is on the equatorial line. So we have applied the equatorial line formula. Now E is equal to E1 plus E2, and this E1 and E2 both are perpendicular to each other. So we are having the formula E is equal to mod of E1 square plus modulus of E2 square. Now substitute these values, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into 2P cos theta upon R cube whole square plus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into P sin theta upon R cube whole square. Now again E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is common, P upon R cube, and we'll get 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta. Now this sin square theta can be written as 1 minus cos square theta from the simple trigonometry, and this 4 cos square theta minus cos square theta, it is becoming 3 cos square theta plus 1. Other expression, others are the same. So E is equal to, finally we will get E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 or epsilon naught P upon R cube under root 3 cos square theta plus 1. Now this is the electric field of the dipole due to any point, neither on the axial line nor on the equatorial line. We can consider the any point. Now we have to consider the direction from the E1, that is the alpha. So they are perpendicular to each other. So this E will be equal to making the tan alpha angle, and hence the tan alpha is equal to mk upon pk or modulus of E2 upon E1. So E2 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 P sin theta upon R cube upon 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into 2P cos theta upon R cube. substituting these values of E2 and E1, will find that tan alpha is equal to 1 by 2 tan theta. Rest of the terms will be cancelled out. So sin theta upon cos theta, it will be the tan theta. Now electric dipole, AB of the dipole moment P can be considered as to be the equivalent, that is the one dipole A1B1 having the dipole moment P cos theta, and it is, we can say this is the axial line, and another electric dipole A2B2 which is placed perpendicular to A1B1 having the electric dipole moment P sin theta, that is on the equatorial line. So on any point we can calculate the electric dipole moments, electric field due to the electric dipole moment when we know these two formulae. Now see the NCERT textual question, very simple question is there. Now the value of the P is given to you 4 into 10 raised to minus 9 Coulomb meter. The angle theta is 30 degree. That means it is the dipole is placed at the angle by making the angle 30 degree from the direction of the electric field, and the value of the electric field is also given. So it is very simple formula, that torque is equal to P E sin theta. Substitute the values, and sin 30 is equal to 1 by 2, and you will get 10 raised to the power minus 4 Newton into meter. Now children, here it should be clear, and it should be keep in our mind that this 12 distance between two charges in case of the dipole, 2 is not the number which is to be multiplied. Now this is to be taken care of, as we are just thinking that here the value of 2L is 4 into 10 raised to the power minus 4. So the value of 2L is 4 into 10 raised to the power minus 4, and suppose the 2 should not be multiplied here. If you multiply this 2 here, that means the 4 2s are 8, and your answer will be wrong. Now tips and tools. Firstly, we can find out the dimensional formula. E is equal to F upon Q0, that is the ml T minus 2. This is the dimensional formula for the force, and Q is equal to IT. Q means charge, I means current, and T means time. The ampere into time. This ml T minus 2 and T is going upside, it is minus 3 and A to the power minus 1. So the dimensional formula for the electric field is very clear, ml T minus 3 and A minus 1. Second point, the electric field due to a point charges is spherically symmetric about the charge. This I have already discussed, that for the point charge it is there is a spherical symmetry, and according to the nature of the point charge, if the positive charge is there, the electric lines of forces are outwards and having the spherical symmetry. If the negative charge is there, then they are also having the spherical symmetry, and the electric lines of force, they are towards the inside the negative charge. Now how the electric lines of forces, uniform electric lines of force, uniform electric field, it can be denoted in the terms of the geometry. So this uniform electric field in whole of the electrostatics, it is denoted by the parallel lines which are in the same direction. We can use, they are unidirectional and they are equidistant also. That means these parallel lines having the equal distance between them. So the uniform electric field is denoted by the parallel lines. They must be unidirectional and they should also be equidistant from each other. The electric field due to a circular loop of charge having the radius a and charge q at a point p on its axis located at a distance x from its center O. This we have already proved. This E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q x upon x square plus a square to the power 3 by 2. The electric field due to a semicircular arc of radius a having a uniform charge per unit length equal to lambda is given by, if the charge is distributed on the semicircular arc, then it is the charge is distributed on it, then the formula for the electric field due to this, it is lambda upon 2 pi epsilon 0 a. A is the radius of the circle या semicircle, or lambda is the linear charge density. Linear charge density is denoted by lambda, and lambda is equal to q by 2L. Now the sixth point is, if an infinite number of charges such each equal to q are placed along x-axis at the distances x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, x is equal to 4, x is equal to 8 and so on, then the electric field at point x is equal to 0 due to this set of charges is given by E is equal to q upon 3 pi epsilon naught. If in the above setup the consecutive charges have the opposite sign, suppose first charge is plus q, then we are having the minus q, then we are having the plus q, then again we are having the minus q. Now that means the consecutive charges have the opposite sign. Then the electric field at point x is equal to 0 is given by E is equal to q upon 5 pi epsilon 0. These tips and tools, they will be required when you are solving the numerical problems. Now children, we are taking the very good example, a numerical problem from the NCERT book. That is, an oil drop of 12 excess electron is held stationary under a constant electric field of 2.55 into 10 raised to the power 4 volt per meter in Millikan's oil drop experiment. Earlier, children, I have just told that Millikan was the first scientist just to prove the quantization of charge, that is q is equal to plus minus n into E in the laboratory, and that the name of that apparatus is Millikan's oil drop experiment. Rho of the oil, that means the density of the oil, is given to you 1.26 in grams per centimeter cube. Estimate the radius of the drop, given that the G is equal to 9.81 and the charge on the electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19 coulomb. So earlier also we have seen this type of the problem. So for the equilibrium, the gravitational force is always acting in the downward direction and electrostatic force Fe is in the upward direction, and if both are equal and opposite, then the equilibrium will be attained. Then mg is equal to q into E, because it is in the spherical in shape. So 4 by 3 pi r cube, it is the mass of the into rho is the density. So this will be the mass of the circular oil drop multiplied by G. So this is the mg force is equal to q into E. From here, if you substitute this value, you will get the r cube is equal to 3qE upon 4 pi rho into G, or r is equal to, here it is the r cube. So within the bracket 3qE upon 4 pi rho into G and power 1 by 3. Now substitute all these values, and the value of pi is 3.14. If you substitute all these values and then solve it, then you will get the value of r, that is the radius of the oil drop. Before we just calculate the q, firstly calculate the q is equal to n into E, This is the quantization of the charge. Here the 12 excess electrons are there. So in place of n we are putting the 12, and charge on the electron is also given to you 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. So if you multiply it, solve it, 1.92 into 10 raised to minus 18 coulombs. So substituting all these values in this way and then proceed the calculation, you will get the value of R. So this is the question from the NCERT and very important and having the concept also. Now take another question, children. Point charges are there. They are the 4.10 raised to minus 6 coulombs and 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 coulombs. Here it is placed and here it is placed at the vertices of the A and B of a right angle triangle ABC respectively. Now B is right angle, AC is equal to, AC is 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 meters, that means this distance is given to you. BC is 10 raised to the power minus 2 meters. Now find the magnitude and direction of the resultant electric field intensity at the point C. Now C पे हम लोगों को electric field की value, net electric field की value because of this presence of this charge and presence of this charge we have to calculate. Direction बच्चों जानने के लिए plus Q0 test charge we are putting at the point C. तो plus Q0 जैसे ही आप रखते हैं ये minus, this is the A charge, QA charge is also positive, so repulsion force is there, this is the EA, and similarly Q0 is repelled by this charge, so this is the EB. This is the electric field at the point C due to A charge and E electric field due to the B charge. Now they are inclined at certain angle, suppose it is the theta angle. The resultant will be obtained by applying the law of parallelogram of vectors. That is the E, here it is the EA, this is the EB. Now complete the parallelogram. So this will be the resultant of EA and EB. So if the two vectors EA and EB are inclined at certain angle, then from our previous knowledge, the E is equal to under root EA square plus EB square plus 2EA into EB cos theta. So this is the formula which we have applied. Now proceed the calculation one by one. EA is equal to, EA is what? It is the electric field due to this charge, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. The QA charge upon AC square. Substitute the value. Similarly, EB is the electric field due to this charge. So this is the EB for 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. Charge is QB and the distance is CB square. Substitute all these values. All the values are given and solve it. We are getting the value EA is equal to 9 into 10 raised to power 7 Newton per coulomb. EB is equal to 18 into 10 raised to power 7 Newton per coulomb. Now the resultant electric field, as I have already told you, we have to apply the law of parallelogram of vectors. So EA square plus EB square plus 2EA into EB cos theta. Now if here this is the theta, in front of the theta this is the perpendicular, and here we have to find out the cos theta. Cos theta is the base upon hypotenuse. So 10 raised to minus 2 upon 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. This will be cancelled out. It is 1 by 2, 0.5, or the value of theta is 60 degree. So in place of cos theta we can write directly 0.5 or 1 by 2. Substitute these values. E is equal to 9 into 10 raised to power 7 whole square, which we have calculated here, plus 18 into 10 raised to power 7 whole square, plus 2 into EA and EB value, and the value of the cos theta is 0.5. Now all these terms will be taken outside as a common and taken out from the square root. So here you will get 1 plus here you will get 4, and then you are getting the 2. So it is root 7. So 9 into 10 raised to power 7 into root 7. Now root 7 9 into 2.64 into 10 raised to the power 7. That means the root 7 we have calculated and we are getting the value 2.64. Multiplying it, 23.76 into 10 raised to the power 7. If we are writing 2.3, then one more power will be added here, 10 raised to the power 8 Newton per Coulomb. Tan alpha, now the direction from the EA. What is the direction of the resultant electric field from the EA? So it is a very well known formula, EA sin theta upon EA plus EB cos theta. Substitute these values. Now tan alpha is equal to 18 into 10 raised to the power 7 into root 3 by 2, and this 9 into 10 raised to the power 7 plus 18 into 10 raised to the power 7 into 1 by 2. All this will be cancelled out, only you will get 3 root 3 by 2. That is the 1.732. The value of the root 3 is 1.732 upon 2. ये याद कर लीजिए, root 2 की वैल्यू 1.414 and root 3 की वैल्यू 1.732. So this is, and tan alpha is equal to, if you divide it, you will get 0.866. Now again your kind attention, now you have to see the tan table in your books where the tan table is being given. Now search out this 0.866 value and find out the angle. You will find that near the 40.9 degree, it is where the 40.9 degree is written, this value 0.866 is very near to this value. It is not the exact value, because exact value, for finding out the exact value you have to go through the total trigonometry. So that much correct answer is not needed here in the physics. You see the tan table and take the nearby value which is 0.866 के जो बहुत ही करीब वैल्यू हो उसका एंगल आप देख लीजिए, और उस वो एंगल मैंने जो देखा है वो आ रहा है 40.9 डिग्री. इसमें आपको थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है, तो इसको आप देखिए. अगर कहीं पे कोई प्रॉब्लम होती है तो यू कैन आस्क द प्रॉब्लम कि हाउ टू सी. फर्स्ट यू सी द tan table, you will understand, I think. Now come to the another question. Calculate the field due to an electric dipole of length 10 centimeter and consisting of charges of plus minus 100 microcoulomb at a point 20 centimeters from each charge. Now this is very easy question. It is totally based on the simple dipole, that is the minus 100 microcoulomb is here and this is the plus 100 microcoulomb is here. So that means they are the equal and opposite charges are placed at the 20 centimeters from each charge. That means it is the case of the equatorial line. It's very obvious. So apply the formula of the equatorial line which we have proceeded, which we have proved already. E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 P upon under root R square plus L square to the power 3 by 2. Here your L is not very greater than R. Here L is 10 centimeter, this is 20 centimeter. So L is not very greater than R. So L square cannot be neglected. So here the 2L is 10 centimeters. Now P is equal to Q into 2L. Now again children, this 2 will not be multiplied anywhere in the case of the dipole. Again and again I am just reminding it to you. Because 2L is the distance between the two charges minus Q2 plus Q. Here you see Q, the value of Q is 100 microcoulomb. So it is 100 into 10 raised to the power minus 6 into the value of 2L is given 10 centimeters. So it is taken as 10 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 meters. Now solve it, you will get the electric dipole moment 10 raised to the power minus 5 coulomb into meter. Now see the R square plus L square to the power 1 by 2. It is 20 centimeters, so it will be 0.2 meter. Substituting the values, E is equal to 9 into 10 raised to the power 9 into 10 raised to the power minus 5 in place of P. and in place of r square plus l square to the power 3 by 2. So here it is value of 1 by 2 is 0.2. So it will be 0.2 into whole cube. Now 9 into 10 raised to power 4 into this 0.008 is coming after having the cube of 0.2. This point will be removed 1000, and after the calculation we are getting 9 upon 8 into 10 raised to power 7 Newton per Coulomb. Divided by 8, you will get the electric field 1.125 into 10 raised to the power 7 Newton per Coulomb. Now the children, you are thinking that why we have taken such a very simple example. It is because of that, just to get you understand that if the R is not very greater than L, then we cannot neglect the L square, because of the fact that L is, if the R is very greater than L, मान लीजिए R आपका दिया हुआ है 20 मीटर्स और L दिया हुआ है 1 सेंटीमीटर, तो then L is very small, then the L square can be neglected, and then we will use the formula E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into P upon R cube in the case of equatorial line. So only for the discussion of this I have taken this very simple example. Now take in another simple example. Now here nothing to do, I think very easily you can understand. The value of the theta is given 30 degree. E is equal to 10 raised to power 4 Newton per Coulomb. Torque is equal to 9 into 10 raised to minus 26 Newton into meter. Very easy formula, torque is equal to P E sin theta. So substituting the values, we can find out very easily the value of the electric dipole moment, which is coming ultimately 1.8 into 10 raised to minus 29 Coulomb per meter. So this is the electric field, and the dipole is placed like this, minus q and plus q. So this is making theta angle from the direction of electric field, which is given here. The theta is equal to 30 degree. Now take another question. An infinite number of the charges each equal to q are placed along x-axis at x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, x is equal to 4, x is equal to 8, and so on. Now A, find the electric field at the point x is equal to 0 due to this set of charges. And what will be the electric field if in the above setup the consecutive charges have the opposite sign? Now this question which we have just discussed in the tip formula, this is the proof of these two formulas. Now suppose we are having the Q1 charge, Q2, Q3, Q4, and they are situated at the distance R1, R2, R3 and R4 distance. So the total electric field 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 upon R1 square, Q2 upon R2 square plus Q3 upon R3 square and Q4 upon R4 square and so on. If the Q1 and Q2, Q3 they are equal, that means Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is taken outside, and here you will get 1 upon 1 square, 1 upon 2 square, 1 upon 4 square plus 1 upon 8 square. Now Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is taken outside, and this is the sum of the geometrical progression, because this series which you are seeing 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 4 square plus 1 by 8 square, this is the, now we have to take the sum of the geometrical progression. So for finding out the geometrical progression, the value of A is equal to, that is the first term, this is the 1, and common ratio is the second term divided by the first term. 1 upon 2 square, 1 upon 1 square is equal to 1 upon 4, and S infinity is equal to A upon 1 minus R. 1 upon 1 minus 1 upon R will get 4 by 3. Substitute here, it is the 4 by 3, this 4 will be cancelled out, and E is equal to Q upon 3 pi epsilon 0. So this we have directly written, but there is a proof of this formula also. And the second formula which we have directly written in the tips and tools, That is, if the consecutive charges have the opposite signs. Suppose q upon a 4 pi epsilon 0, if they are having the opposite signs, so one is plus, another one is negative. This is plus, this is negative. So again this type of the series is being obtained, and that is also the geometrical progression. So here a is equal to 1. The difference is the common ratio is minus 1 by 4. If you substitute this value here, you will get 1 plus 1 by 4 and you will get 4 by 5. Substitute 4 by 5, this 4 will be cancelled out. E is equal to q upon 5 pi epsilon naught. So this formula we have directly written, this formula we have directly written. Now we have the proof of these two formulae also. Now children, we are just going to take the simple examples which are asked in your CBSE examination. An electric dipole of the dipole moment P is present in a uniform electric field. Write the value of the angle between the electric dipole moment and electric field for which the torque experienced by the dipole is minimum. Minimum is the 0. So if this is the direction of the electric field and your dipole minus q plus q, that is the AB, is placed in this in the same direction, then the direction of the electric dipole moment is always from negative to positive. So the electric field and the direction of the electric dipole moment both are in the same direction, and when they are both are in the same direction, the angle between them is 0, and sine 0 is 0, so the torque is also 0. Now see this question is asked in another way, that what orientation of an electric dipole in a uniform electric field corresponds to its stable equilibrium. This is asked in CBSE 2008 and 2001. Now theta is between E and P is 0, then dipole is in the stable equilibrium. एक चीज समझ लें, ऊपर वाले क्वेश्चन में इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड भी इसी डायरेक्शन में है और इलेक्ट्रिक डायपोल अगर कैसे भी रखा हुआ है तो वो क्या करता है, हमेशा घूम करके इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की डायरेक्शन में आना चाहता है और उसके बाद उसका फिर मोशन स्टॉप हो जाता है. दिस इज कॉल्ड द स्टेबल इक्विलिब्रियम, यानी इसके बाद फर्दर कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. तो व्हेन द डायपोल दिस माइनस क्यू एंड प्लस क्यू, डायपोल मोमेंट की डायरेक्शन और ई की डायरेक्शन दोनों सेम हो जाएं, दैट मीन्स द एंगल बिटवीन देम इज 0, देन द डायपोल इज इन द स्टेबल इक्विलिब्रियम. लेकिन अगर ये प्लस क्यू इधर हो और माइनस क्यू इधर हो तो क्या होगा, दिस पी की डायरेक्शन किधर हो जाएगी, इस तरफ हो जाएगी. तो दैट मीन्स दे आर मेकिंग द 180 डिग्री एंगल बिटवीन द इलेक्ट्रिक डायपोल मोमेंट एंड द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. तो तब क्या करेगा, ये डायपोल जो घूम करके फिर ये इस तरह से आना चाहेगा पूरा रोटेशन लेकर के. दैट इज वाई इफ द थीटा इज इक्वल टू 180 डिग्री देन इट इज कॉल्ड द अनस्टेबल इक्विलिब्रियम. Again I am repeating, if the theta is equal to 0 degree then the stable equilibrium is obtained, and if the theta is equal to 180 degree in between the electric field and the electric dipole moment, then the unstable equilibrium is there. Now see question number 3. If we are writing the electric field is equal to limit q0 is tending towards the 0 f upon q0. What is the physical significance of this limit in this expression? This is also asked in CBSE 2007. Now, we all know that the Q0 is a very small charge. If it is not the small charge, small test charge, then it will produce its own electric field which will disturb the electric field of the point charge. मान लीजिए कि एक इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड यहाँ पे है, एक चार्ज रखा हुआ है, दूसरा कोई चार्ज अगर हम लाएंगे तो उसकी भी तो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड होगी कोई, वो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इसकी इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड को डिस्टर्ब करेगी और हम इसकी वजह से प्रॉपर एक्सप्रेशन इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का एग्जैक्ट एक्सप्रेशन हम नहीं निकाल पाएंगे. तो इसीलिए हम लिमिट ये लगा देते हैं कि लिमिट Q0 इज टेंडिंग टूवर्ड्स 0. दैट मीन्स द वैल्यू ऑफ द Q0 इज वैनिशिंगली वेरी वेरी small, that means tending towards the 0. in case test charge is not vanishingly small, it will produce its own electric field and the measured value E will be different from the actual value of the electric field at that point. Now see the question number 4. This is also from the NCERT, and this is also asked in the CBSE 2001 supplementary compartment examination. The electric field is there, two plates are there. This is the positively charged plate, this is the negatively charged plate, and this is the mid line of this. And here we are having the three charges: first charge, second charge, and third charge. So we have to give the nature of the charge for first charge, second charge, and third charge. So we all know that first charge is deviating towards the positive plate, definitely it will be having the negative charge, and the second is also deviating towards the positively charged plate, so this will also be the negative charge. Only the third charge is just deviating towards the negatively charged plate, so this will have the positive sign. So I think the nature is very clear. First is having the negatively charged, second is also negatively charged, and third is the positively charged. Now which particle has the highest charge to mass? That is the E upon M ratio. We have to find out that whose, इसके लिए जिसका डिफ्लेक्शन ज्यादा होगा वो उसका चार्ज टू मास रेशियो भी ज्यादा होगा. Now let us try to prove this. Very simple formula we are using: y is equal to ut plus half at square, and a is equal to acceleration is equal to force upon m, and here the force is equal to small e and capital E. Small e is the charge on the electron and E is the electric field. F is equal to Q into E. Here it is the charged particle, so we have taken it is the E, charge on the electron or charge on the proton, charge on the any charge, E, and electric field E upon M. If you want to take in place of E, if there is any confusion, we can take the Q also, no problem. So y is equal to, when the charge is starting its movement, initial velocity is 0, so this term becomes 0. Y is equal to, and substitute the value of A here, 1 by 2 E upon M into T square, cross multiplication E T square is equal to 2 M into Y. Now from the ratio and proportion, E by M is equal to 2Y upon E T square. So 2 is a constant and electric field is a constant, and the time taken is also constant. So if they are the constant terms, we can easily write E upon M is directly proportional to Y. Y is what? The deflection due to this plate. So the third particle has the maximum deflection. ऐसा दिखाई दे रहा है कि third particle का deflection maximum हो रहा है. So its E by M ratio is also highest. Now again, very important question. They are asking again and again for the 1 mark question. That is the graphical representation of electric field and the charge. Second, electric field and the distance, and electric field and 1 upon r square. So E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q. So it is the directly proportional to Q. So if we are plotting the graph between E and Q, it will be always be a straight line. But E is, and we are plotting the graph between E and R, then it is the curve, because it is not directly proportional to R, it is proportional to R square. So E and 1 upon R square, if you are taking the plotting the graph between the electric field and 1 upon R square, then E is directly proportional to 1 upon R square, again you will get the straight line. Only this differs because E is not directly proportional to R. So this will be the curved graph. Thank you very much, children. And on the next turn, we are just going to discuss the Gauss's theorem or the Gauss's law, area vector and solid angle, etc. All these topics. So thank you very much for today. Now see the videos very carefully, watch the videos very carefully, and if you are not able just to understand anything, on the WhatsApp group you can ask your queries in between 6 to 7. Thank you very much.